welcome
to Doctor Who, Time and Space, a weekly Doctor Who podcast. Are you sure we're loud enough?
We're fine, yeah, we're fine.
Are you sure? Don't we need to turn it up?
No, it makes no difference to this. That's our listening piece. We're here loud and clear.
Sorry. Doctor Who, Time and Space is our weekly podcast, the father and son podcast, where we discuss all of the latest goings on in the Whoniverse. And this week it's going to be a good show because it's been an exciting week, definitely in terms of news for the Whoniverse, hasn't it?
It certainly has done.
Because this week has been New York Comic Con, which we've been anticipating for about a month or so, that there'll be some big news.
And it's trailer-tastic.
It's trailer-tastic. We've got some... We've got a few trailer breakdowns in the news section later on, so it's going to be a really good show, I think, today.
Yeah.
It's because of what's happened this week, and you may have heard. So we've got some news, not only about normal Doctor Who, but its spin-off Class.
Yeah.
So which is coming in 2 weeks.
Not long at all now, is it?
It's 2 weeks until it's out. So
pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Also, we'd like to say a big hello to anyone that's joining us from iTunes.
Yes, because our new platform is iTunes. Hi, guys.
And Podomatic. So, hopefully there'll be a few more people listening, and we look forward for receiving any thoughts or comments or discussions that you may have. Is it worth just mentioning your Twitter address if anyone wants to message us?
Yes, so if you want to message us during the podcast, I mean any time, it may take me a while to answer depending on what point in the week it is, but our tweet address is @drwho, time as in N space.
There we are.
So this is our second episode to go on Podomatic and iTunes.
Yeah.
So listeners may not know that this started off as an iTunes podcast. This started off as an Audacity podcast. We moved it on to about a year later, we moved it on to YouTube.
Yep.
It's still on YouTube.
Yep.
It's just now we've also got it on iTunes and Podomatic. So you may be listening to on one of those 3 platforms.
Because there's no escaping us.
The YouTube account is Mr. Lewis Moon.
Yep.
To get to iTunes, it's Doctor Who, Time and Space. You just type it in and go down to the podcast section. Podomatic, what should we type in?
Doctor Who, Time and Space,
Doctor Who, Time and Space. And our website is mrmoonadventures.weebly.com.
We should introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'm Lewis Moon.
And I'm D Cool.
And
Dr. Cool.
Yeah,
to you.
Dr. Cool. This is episode 180.
What do we have on this week's show?
So if you have been following us the last few weeks, we've been doing a few Companions by the Decades features, and today we're going to be looking at Companions from New Who.
Excellent. We also have a section on the podcast called The Randomizer, which plucks... Oh, there goes tapped out. We also have an item called The Randomizer, where it randomly selects from a spreadsheet a episode from either classic or New Who for us to watch that weekend review.
Wait, did you just say what we were reviewing?
And I'm just about to.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And last week and today we've been watching The Ribos Operation, and we'll be reviewing that. Pressing the randomizer again.
Yeah. We've got some Doctor Who news and Class news and, all sorts of Doctor Who related news.
And if we have time, we will do one of our little games that we play occasionally. We will do a 3-minute rant.
Yeah.
That's probably pretty much what we've got lined up.
So let's move on to what we've been doing this week.
Okay. Do you want to start on this one?
Yeah, okay.
So what have you been doing this week, Mr. Lewis Moon?
What have I been doing this week? Well, I've not been doing much.
No?
I've been really lacking this week.
Not much Who-related stuff,
Not
then?
much Who-related stuff. Not much that would interest people.
What about, because you've been starting in recent weeks, or last couple of months, to be listening to a lot of the Big Finish things. Have you been listening to any of that this week?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
So what have you been working your way through?
I have been working my way through Signs and Wonders, and my next listening section, I believe, on Monday will be my final part of Signs and Wonders.
Okay.
I've sort of started part 4, but I've only watched 2 chapters of it because they're set into different chapters. And I've been watching or listening, as I must say, to these audios for the last few months now, and I've really been enjoying them.
Yeah.
And Decool, thank you, because he purchased a lovely new audio from the Lost Stories range that I'm going to listen to, starring Fraser Hines.
So
Hines.
That's the next step, is it?
Fraser Hines and Wendy Padbury. Fraser.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Myself, I mean, other than watching the ribos operation, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, that was the only Who-related thing that I've been doing. But I've been working my way through series 2 of Daredevil.
How many episodes have you watched now?
How far have I got through it? I'm on either episode 5, 6, or 7. I'm not 100% sure.
Are there 12 of them?
Probably. I've not looked actually.
Or
There's usually about that, 12, 13, something like that. Really good series. Very, very good. Again. And as I've said on numerous occasions, I won't bore people with it again. Netflix versions of the Marvel universe are so much superior to what we've had in recent times in terms of films, because they've just enabled you to get far more into the mindset of both the heroes and the villains. So, for instance, in this one of the other characters in it is the Punisher, and we're beginning to learn more and more about him. What made him turn into the vigilante that he is. So it's really good series, and they've just recently released Luke Cage series, which dropped in mass.
Yeah.
And
it dropped, didn't it?
It did drop, and I've not started watching that one yet, but I will work my way through that shortly. I was talking to my dad and my brother about it only last night, and they said it was really, really good. So I look forward for catching that.
Oh, cool.
That's probably it, I think.
That's probably it for me as well. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll see you this time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Same time, same space.
News then.
News, yeah. The
Okay.
latest news. Okay then, the news. The latest news from the Doctor Who universe. Well, this week, as we were saying at the beginning of the show, was New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's still going on now, but yesterday, or to us, the 7th of October, me forgetting what month it is.
I forget my name quite often.
Yeah. 7th of October was the day where both Doctor Who and Class, a number of stars from both, and in Doctor Who, not just the current cast and crew, but the a few cast members from the past, like Matt Smith and Karen Gillan, I think, were there.
Really?
And Jenna Coleman. I don't know if Jenna Coleman was there.
What, for Doctor Who, or were they there for sort of new ventures?
I'm not sure.
Oh, right, okay.
I think they were probably there for part both.
Oh, right, okay.
But we've had a few bits of news. Obviously, this is mainly a Doctor Who show, so I don't really want their main headline to be a spin-off thing. But we've had some news about the Christmas special come out. And we can stop saying the 2016 Christmas special now because we have a title.
Hey.
Much earlier than I expected this title to come.
Yeah. So what is the title then? What can we look forward for?
The title is The Return of Dr. Mysterio, which is an intriguing title.
So who do you think Dr. Mysterio is?
Well, it could either be two things. It could be the superhero, which we talked about last week, played by Justin Chatwin, who may be called Dr. Mysterio, or it could be referring to the Doctor as the Doctor is returning to our screens after a year's break.
Yeah.
Or B, Dr. Mysterio is Doctor Who in Mexico.
Okay.
So they call Doctor Who Dr. Mysterio.
So it would be it'd be very confusing for the Mexicans if it's the superhero then, won't it?
Dr. Mysterio, Dr.
It'd be
Mysterio.
like, what is this? What is this?
They're both the
they're
Dr.
both called-
Mysterio.
Both got Dr. Mysterio.
So all of our Mexican listeners have gone now.
Oh no, that's
Oh.
right. So
Not that we
So we
probably
saw-
have any.
So we saw a bit of a trailer for the Christmas special. Well,
Yes,
not
we
a
did.
trailer as such. It's more of a. It was more
Behind the scenes.
it was,
sort
wasn't
of.
it? I showed a couple of scenes.
But it towards the end, it shows a bit of the episode.
And it was interesting. I mean, I guess presumably they showed this live at the Comic Con, and it
I believe
sort of
they
like
did.
supported the discussions that they were having. But and what we saw within that was we saw a number of clips of them actually making
did,
the
yeah.
new series. Focused quite a lot on Matt Lucas and his character.
It did Nardo,
Yeah.
and most of the trailer was just him holding up cards.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Saying, I love NY, or I am the real doctor, or something.
And what was quite interesting is that Nardal had a whole body.
I know. How did he get his head back?
So what are you thinking there? Is you're thinking that this happened before the last Christmas special in Nardal's timeline, or are you thinking that Nardal's just got his body back somehow?
Well, I think the thing was that at the beginning of this... Did he know the Doctor in Husbands of River Song?
I don't think he did,
Because he went up to the TARDIS, didn't he, at the
Yeah.
beginning?
but only to even the. It was like the joke around the carol singers, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Remember?
I think the superhero will give him his head back.
Yeah. could do.
Somehow.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Which brings me on to the other point that I was going to make. We see a superhero.
Yes, we do.
So-
Played by Justin Chatwin.
So that's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? In terms of the superhero, I mean, there was an interview we saw with Peter Capaldi from the Comic Con where he was comparing the style of the superhero to the old Christopher Reeve Superman series, which I certainly grew up with, and that'd be quite promising if we've got that sort of thing, because that had quite a nice balance of humour and action. It was far more, I guess, like the comic strips of old.
Can I turn this up a little bit?
Yeah.
Because it's like...
Yeah. So, you know, I think in itself that'll be something worth watching. I think it's going to be quite a good one.
Yeah, I think it will be. I mean, the Christmas specials are always something that's a bit light-hearted.
Yeah.
I mean, Husbands of River Song did Christmas special perfectly, in my opinion.
I did, yeah. I know not everybody liked it, but I thought it was a really good.
I
Christmas
thought it was
special.
a really good
Yeah.
Christmas special.
Had
And,
the right balance, didn't
you
it?
know, people would have respected it more when it was on if they didn't realise there was going to be an episode for another year.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if people hate this the return of Dr. Mysterio, then oh no, it's the only Doctor Who and it's absolutely terrible.
But it could be.
Libus operate. No.
But you never know.
You never know.
You never know. So, was there anything else that you took out from the trailer? Was there,
From this Doctor Who trailer. Not much.
did it whet your
Just-
appetite for Who returning at Christmas?
All I could say is I'm looking forward to it because there's no actual series of Doctor Who. it's the closest thing we're going to get to a series. I mean, we've got Class, but that's not actually Doctor Who, even though Peter Capaldi is appearing in it. But it looks okay. It looks quite good. I don't think either of us are that fond of Nardole from what we saw in Husbands of River Song, but we are fans of Matt Lucas. Or we quite like Matt Lucas.
And maybe this time it will play to his strengths more. I just found the character of Nardole a bit annoying in the last Christmas special. Whereas the comedy actor, I've forgotten his name now, the other guy, the one that was playing the main... Greg Davies, yeah. Whilst it really worked, I think, having him in there. Yeah. I just found that Nardole he just felt a little bit too comedy-like.
Yeah, he did.
Not that you want any sort of menace from that sort of character.
No,
but it I don't know, it just seemed a little bit too slapsticky. And it's like, I know it's Christmas, but,
it's not, you don't want that.
There's still threats going on here. We don't want everything being, ooh!
Oh, it's blimey.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, let's just read this description.
Mm-hmm.
It says, the family favourite will return on Christmas Day as the Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi, joins forces with an investigative journalist, played by Charity Wakefield, and superhero to save New York from a deadly alien threat. Stephen Moffat, writer and executive producer, says, I always loved superheroes, and this Christmas Doctor Who dives into that world. My favourite superhero is Clark Kent, not Superman, Clark Kent. Justin Chatwin plays Grant in the special. He says, working with the amazing people at Doctor Who has been one of the most fun and rewarding projects I've ever had the pleasure of being involved with.
So just to add very briefly to that, that bit of news you've taken from Doctor Who TV website, have you? So if you want to read the article in full, that's where you can see it.
Yeah. Matt Lucas will also be joining the cast of the special with Anton Eden, Alexander Jovanovic, and Logan Huffman. The 60-minute Doctor Who Christmas special will air on BBC One and is written by Stephen Moffat, executive produced by Brian Minchin, produced by Peter Bennett, and directed by Ed and Basil Getty. It is shot in Cardiff at BBC Wales Rothlock Studios.
What a surprise!
What a surprise! Bop, bop.
Good. That's something to look forward for, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the return of Dr. Mysterio.
Yeah. And we look forward to finding out which of the two, if any, Mysterio is. So, yeah.
And the bit I'm most looking forward to is the trailer for Series 10.
Do you think you'll get that?
Probably.
You might get a bit of a trailer, I guess, but they're still filming it, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
I mean, by the sounds of it, some of it still hasn't been written, judging on the Capaldi interview, unless he was just joking. It seemed to indicate that some of it had not been written yet.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
So, yeah. Fine. In that case, then, shall we move on to the next item of news?
So, spin-offs. Class. Class is the Doctor Who spin-off. That's coming later on this year, and we've had a few bits of news this week at both the Comic-Con and in the world of the Whoniverse, which include 2 trailers which were released. One is a short trailer and one was a proper trailer.
Which one dropped first?
The Peter Capaldi, the Doctor one.
Okay, should we talk about that first of all?
Let's talk about that. I really like this trailer because Capaldi is great as always.
And that short trailer particularly focuses on Capaldi, doesn't it? I don't think you even see any of the other cast
You do,
members.
just they don't talk.
They don't talk, right? Okay, so there's not much of them. But basically, Capaldi sort of makes the comment that
And then the second trailer sort of swaps it around.
Yeah, he sort of makes the point that he can't always be there for them, and sometimes they'll need to take survival on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Capaldi in this. He's got a good speech.
Can you remember the big line in it?
Time
I've written it down. If not,
has set its.
it says time has looked at your faces.
Yeah, and time never forgets.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah. So that was, I mean, it's priceless Capaldi, isn't it? It's a typical Capaldi sort of speech.
Yeah, it is.
But that was certainly whet your appetite, wasn't it? When you mentioned to me that
yeah.
it'd gone live, you sounded quite excited that you'd actually sort of seen it when you tweeted me to say.
I didn't tweet you.
No, Skyped me.
Yeah, no, because we were chatting anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you seem quite excited about that.
How can you tell? Because I wasn't.
You can tell from your typing.
How can you tell from a typing? I didn't even put any emojis in.
We then sort of later on that day, they then issued a more full trailer.
Yes, it was a proper trailer.
Mm-hmm. So
I get to do trailer breakdown now.
You've got to try and read my handwriting.
So, first of all, the trailer starts in a corridor where shadows are passing by.
Uh-huh.
Then we see a cast.
Yeah.
And
so it takes a sort of like
cast.
you sort of seeing each and every one of the main players in it. I guess,
all
aren't
5 of them.
Yeah.
The 4 kids.
Yeah.
And also Catherine Kelly, who plays Miss Quill.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the other kids' names. I can remember some of them, but I don't want to just say one of them.
No, that's
or
right.
2 of them.
We'll just call them the kids for now.
Yeah. So, what does that say?
They start to see this opening into another world.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We find out that one of the kids could be an alien.
What do you think of that then? So,
I find that quite interesting.
I think
that's quite different.
I wonder if it just so happens that there's an alien at the school, or whether the doctor's planted the kid there or something like that. I wonder whether it might be something Doctor Who related. The reason being that there's an alien child at the school.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably some sort of complicated thing.
Did you notice?
It's not Stephen Moffat.
I noticed that Coal Hill is no longer a normal school. It's now an academy school.
I know.
Yeah.
Looks completely different, doesn't it,
Yeah.
from what we saw in Day of the Doctor?
Yep. See,
Oh.
modern times. Coal Hill is now an academy.
Oh, Coal Hill Academy. Right, kissing.
Yeah, there's lots of sort of kissing, isn't it, going on at one point? And I think that was their way of showing that this is a young adults program. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And there were 2 men kissing. So
there was, yeah. So it's,
boys. We know that we found out a few years ago, few months ago, that the main character was going to be gay.
yeah. Is that the alien? Is it a gay
I
alien?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bit weird. Okay.
So, yeah. So that'll be quite interesting. But it's trying to. So I think they show that sort of scene because I think that's what really shows it as being like a youth drama.
So, creatures which seem to be the Pyrovils from Fires of Pompeii, or some sort of creature that look almost identical to the Pyrovils.
Yeah. What can you remember that episode very well?
No.
So you can't remember what the Pyrovils
That's
were.
the one with Peter Capaldi in.
Yeah.
It's first one.
You don't really remember what the Pyrovils were as such,
No.
or what their role is. Not come up on the randomizer yet, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Nil. So Capaldi says he used to be the caretaker at Coal School.
Which we remember from the episode The Caretaker. Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The trailer then sort of comes to an end, doesn't it? And then kicks back in again.
So, can't expect those juveniles to... What does that say?
Oh, I think it was the teacher saying, like, you can't expect these
Miss
juveniles to deal with this.
Yeah.
something along those lines, basically. And then they sort of then having a bit of a talk around
The
Vampire Diaries and stuff like that, don't they? What do you make of it? Full stop. Do you think?
This trailer?
Yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks like a good spin-off. Looks much better than we've been expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I mean, it looked quite plush, didn't it?
It did look, and the trailers were sort of set out in the style of what a normal Doctor Who trailer would be set out in.
What do you expect? Are you planning on actually watching them, the 2 episodes back to back?
I'll be watching them with you live.
Yeah, but are we going to watch both episodes? Do you think, or
I
see
don't know.
what it's
It
like?
depends when they drop.
Yeah.
If they drop, it depends how much time we have.
Yeah.
If it drops on the week after, I'll be staying over.
Okay, yeah. So we might
So-
be able to get some in there. Yeah.
If we see it the week after.
But
I
we'll
don't
be
know
looking forward to it anyway.
how it's going to depends how it's going to be laid out in terms of it starts on 22nd of October, but we do have some synopsises for the first 2 episodes.
Okay, fire away, synopsis boy.
So the first episode is called For Tonight We Might Die.
Good title.
Yeah. So it's a new term at Coal Hill Academy, and students are preparing for their autumn prom. But when the school comes under attack from the monstrous Shadowkin, 4 alienated students must form an unlikely alliance to defeat them. Charlie, April, Ram, and Tanya. Okay, that's
the names that we couldn't remember earlier.
I think Charlie's the gay / alien one.
Okay.
Assisted by their physics teacher, Miss Quill, they're now charged with a great responsibility by the mysterious alien known as the Doctor, to guard the creatures of Nightmare, who want nothing more than to find a way through to Earth and take it to their own. And this incursion is only the beginning.
Interesting. So that's. Do we know yet whether we're looking at a single story that runs through the whole series, or do these synopses give us much of a clue to that, or does it look like pretty much standalone stories?
I don't know. Let's read the second synopsis. It's called The Coach with the Dragon Tattoo, episode 2.
Okay.
Did
the titles, were they dropped this week as well? Or
they were dropped a few weeks ago
Okay,
when we heard Peter Capaldi was going to be in it.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know whether we said it on
I
here.
can't remember either actually, but yeah.
I'm sure it had a different title back then.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember that title at all. I remembered the first one you mentioned, but this title didn't ring a bell when you just read it.
You see, for me, the Coach with the Dragon Tattoo, I swear was there at the beginning, but I swear something different was there for Tonight We Might Die.
Okay.
I don't know. Following the tragic events at the prom, a devastated Ram isolates himself from the other 3 as he struggles with his new reality. Desperate to hold himself together on the football pitch, when he thinks he's witnessing someone getting skinned alive, he's convinced he's cracking up. When Tanya, Charlie and April are confronted with the same thing, a horrific, monstrous, skin-peeling dragon, they know that they're under attack. The gang must pull together to fight against the monster and try to keep Coal Hill safe.
So that sounds then that we've got different creatures in the first 2 episodes. So presumably, therefore, they're fairly standalone stories.
Presumably they are, yeah.
With a sort of overarching sort of link, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Maybe it will be all started off by the...
Yeah.
You know.
So if that's class, so that's coming to our screens via BBC Three sort of web service in a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
So do we have any other? Well, do you have any other comments on class?
Not really. It's just we've had an exciting news. We've had some exciting news, and that was all yesterday. That all of that came. I don't know about the synopsises. That might have been the day before.
We also though we saw on the IGN website earlier on some interviews with both Capaldi and
Pearl McKee.
And
there's also one which dropped for Stephen Moffat, which you can see on the IGN YouTube.
We've not watched that.
Maybe we'll have a link to those in the show notes
Yeah,
at
that'd be good,
mrsmoon.weebly.com.
Excellent.
Okay, one final bit of news. I might talk about the others next week because we're sort of running out of time with the news, I think. But the Doctor Who production team have won the BAFTA Simru award for the special and visual effects, titles and graphics for their work on the Series 9 opener, The Magician's Apprentice. The special effects on the episode were supplied by Real SFX, led by Danny Hargraves, while the visual effects were supplied by Milk VFX Danny Hargraves. Both teams have previously won a BAFTA Simru award for their work on the 50th anniversary special Day of the Doctor. The BAFTA Simru Awards on their excellence in broadcasting and production within film and television in Wales. The winners were announced on Sunday at a ceremony hosted by BBC Radio 1 presenter Hugh Stevens at St David's Hall in Cardiff.
Excellent. Good. Well, good luck to them.
Yeah, well, not good luck.
Not good luck. I didn't mean that. What was the word?
Well done.
Well done. Yeah.
Well done.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Well done, folks.
Doctor Who production
And
team.
good luck for next year.
Good luck for next year.
Good. So that brings us to the end of the news. Yeah.
Except there's no episode to do.
Ah.
That brings us to the end of the news. So, over the last few weeks, we've been doing some features on companions through the decades. So we've done 60s, 70s, 80s. And now we're on to our final section, which is New Who, because there's only, 11 years worth of it. We've combined it into one feature, and there's only about 5 companions, probably, if you don't count the minor ones. And this time we're going to be talking about how companions have developed from Classic Who into New Who, and we'll be talking through each of the companions of this decade, what we like about them, what we don't like about them, and one of the companions, at least for one of us, will be all disastrous in terms of comments. You know which one.
I do, yeah. Before we get on to that, can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
Because what we've jumped from the Sylvester McCoy era straight through to New Who, so we've missed out, because of the fact there's only the one story, we've missed out the Doctor Who movie.
Yeah.
But what was your take on the companion in the Doctor Who movie?
We didn't get to see too much of her to, at least I didn't, to have a proper view, but there wasn't much of a difference, I don't believe, in terms of her companion.
I think one thing that did change at that point, that was
Yeah.
probably the first
Kiss.
time where we saw any form of romantic link between the Doctor and the companion, let's say the kiss. And that's something which has followed through quite a bit in New Who.
Yeah, which I don't really like.
No, neither do
Seems
I.
like we're going to see a lot of that in class, but there's kind of a reason for that,
Yeah,
because
no,
it's a
that's-
young adult thing.
And you can understand it there, but the Doctor, I don't know, I'm still not very comfortable with it, but we'll talk a bit about that as we talk about companions. I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning with do we count companions like Mickey and Rory? And...
I don't think so. I think we just keep to the
Okay.
keep to the main ones. Yeah.
Okay. Rose.
Yeah.
Rose is played by Billie Piper. She is the move from Classic Who to New Who in terms of companions. I think Rose is a very popular companion.
I think she sort of bridges the gap in many respects from what we saw with Ace,
Yeah, I think she does.
in that she's sort of like a down to earth girl, soon gets into the excitement of it all, and
Yeah.
you know, I think there's to me, I'd be interested to see whether you agree.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between Rose with the Ninth Doctor and Rose with the 10th Doctor.
Yeah, I think Rose suits the Ninth Doctor much more than she
Mhm.
does with David Tennant.
And I think
know
the whole reason
people
being,
don't think that, maybe.
I think the reason for me, the reason being, is that we talked just a minute ago about the whole romantic link. You didn't really get that with Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, but with David Tennant, good-looking bloke, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
To me, it immediately seemed that they were looking for her to have that crush on him, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously sort of like that carries on throughout the whole of that series, and eventually you get that really big lovey-dovey end sequence, don't you? Which
Yeah, you do.
I don't like one bit.
I don't mind her ending the sequence. It goes on for too long.
Mhm.
Rose herself, though, I think she's quite good. I think she's quite good to set up what New Who is going to offer in terms
Mhm.
of companions.
It was also the first time with the companion where they start having a very essential role in terms of the story that's going on in the background. So
Yeah.
with Rose, you obviously had the whole bad wolf thing, didn't
Yeah, you did.
Which
She,
sort of glued
Yeah.
that series
she
together.
ties in with the story arc, and you
yeah.
know, and she stayed for longer than the Ninth Doctor.
Mm.
She's not one of my favourites, but I think she does start the New Who companion cycle on quite a high.
Yeah, I mean we'll come back, I guess, once we've talked about all of the companions, to the issue of the importance they have to story arcs and things.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be an interesting debate anyway.
Yeah.
We also saw Rose return, of course, in Day of the Doctor,
We did, yeah.
albeit not as Rose.
It was bad a wolf.
Yeah, but did you think? Did you like seeing her return?
She was a different character than she was to
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah. Do you think it worked though?
So, I think it did. I think it was quite a good addition to the
Mhm.
50th anniversary.
It's nice to see her involved.
It was
wasn't
nice to see her involved among many people
Mm.
in the 50th celebrations.
Okay, so moving on then. Who did we get after Rose?
We got Martha, who I think is much better than most people say.
I was going to say, do you think, would it be fair to say that Martha may be one of the most underrated companions in Who?
I would say that.
Yeah. I don't know why it is that she didn't really capture people's imaginations that much.
Yeah, I
I
know.
thought she was in some really strong episodes. I thought she...
Well,
Not
yeah, she was in a few, but it wasn't a particularly strong series.
But it had
some good episodes.
It had some of the best episodes
It had
in it,
some of
didn't
the
it?
best episodes.
Yeah. In that we obviously had Blink, and we had Family Blood
Yeah.
in there. So
But then the rest of the series is sort of...
yeah,
But it's quite a good series. Definitely in the latter half of it.
yeah. So where do you think Martha differed from Rose? I mean, certainly again, it was very much based around Martha fancying him.
Yeah, I think Martha was sort of a step back in terms of companions. Rose was sort of a tougher companion.
Mhm.
Martha was another... Martha's a companion which I think sort of mixes between a companion like Rose and a companion from Classic Who. Because she's not, she may be later on, but in that series she's quite strong, but she isn't as strong as most of the companions, and she doesn't have any superpowers or
No.
anything like that.
And that, in actual fact, she's probably the only companion that we've seen so far in New Who that hasn't got some sort of link. Whether we get that with Billy, not
Bill.
Bill, sorry.
I don't think so.
I hope not.
No.
It's getting a bit boring, I think.
It is getting a bit boring.
So
They need to take a tiny bit of a backseat with the companion, but
Yeah.
I don't mind it. You know, Clara did get a bit too. You know, Clara's time to leave was right
Yeah.
when she did.
So after Martha,
Yeah.
we then had my favourite.
Yeah.
Sarcastically.
That's most people's favourites, actually.
It
but
is most people's favourite, but not mine.
not Decole's, as
And that's
you
Donna.
may know.
Donna.
Donna Noble.
I
Catherine Tate.
I hate Donna Noble.
I've never voiced my opinion on Donna, actually, because you always, you know, I don't mind her, but Deacle utterly hates her. I do find her annoying at times, but I don't see much wrong with her. I find it ridiculous. Everyone has their right to opinions, but I find it ridiculous that people would think that she's the best companion. Although I can see why, actually, because she's quite relatable and stuff, and is the sort of companion. I mean, Deacle doesn't want it, but it's the sort of companion that we kind of need for Doctor Who with Bill, and we might get it.
I think part of my problem with Donna isn't so much Donna herself, but probably more so the fact that not only did you have comedy-esque Donna, but you had comedy-esque Doctor, and I found the interplay between the two, which I know a lot of people really, really like, but I just found it a bit jarring because it was a bit too sort of slapsticky at times.
The audio series is meant to be really good
It is,
with the two of them in.
I mean, again, there's some really good stories with Donna in it.
Yeah, there is.
Although probably my favourite from that era that I've seen is probably Midnight, which doesn't have her in it very much.
Yeah.
So, hooray!
Yay.
But yeah, I think I'm a little bit worried about Bill being a sort of another version of Donna because I don't
think
like
it would
Donna.
I think it would get more popular. You see, I think
Probably, yeah.
because I think people would prefer that sort of companion. Because I know people sort of hated Clara by the end of her tenure.
But when I say that, part of what I was trying to sort of explain was that it's not just Donna. It was the interplay between Donna and the Doctor.
Yeah, but I
With
don't
a
think
different sort of Doctor.
I don't think Pete Capaldi and Bill together would be annoying.
No, I don't. That's exactly the point I was going to make.
Yeah.
Was that Capaldi's a lot more different, isn't he? Whereas
Bill might be annoying, but Pete Capaldi isn't, and he never will be in our books.
yeah. So I think that's probably why I'm not as nervous about it as I would be if well, as I say, even if Donna was to return, with Capaldi's Doctor, I don't think Donna would have been as annoying to me.
I don't think she would have been.
Yeah.
Did you know, I read the other day, just a tangent fact, but apparently they wanted to bring back Leela for the beginning of Peter Davidson's era.
Did they?
To have like a familiar face, but she said she'd only appear in 3 episodes, but they wanted her in they wanted her in the whole series.
Yeah, right. That's interesting, isn't it? I wonder what they would have done in that instance. Would they have crammed her into an already fairly brimming TARDIS?
All of them.
Yeah, I know it's bigger on the inside, but for God's sake, there's only so many companions we can fit in there, isn't there?
I know.
It'd be sort of like something out like a cast of X-Men.
84 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, now that's an interesting tangent there.
Sorry, yeah.
So, moving on then from Donna.
Yeah,
So I think
moving
there's
to
something else I was going to
Stephen
say about Donna. Just kind of think what it was. Yeah, just really that a lot of people really like that relationship between
They do.
Donna and the Doctor, mainly because I think it gives you that feeling of it just being two mates having a laugh in space.
Yeah.
And I can fully understand that.
I can as well.
I can fully understand that.
Amy.
Yeah.
Amy Pond.
Yeah.
Amy, I found, even though she was another one of those, overdeveloped, maybe she was in it a bit too long, but just a tiny bit. But
Mm-hmm.
Amy, I find, is quite a good companion. I don't
Amy's,
think
Amy's probably my favourite of the New Who companions.
I disagree because, you know, I don't think she's one of my favourites.
No?
But I find her quite good. I don't find her that good. I don't find much difference in her, you know.
I like her because she's in some really good stories.
She is.
She's really pretty. She does good just as
Yeah.
a policewoman. And
You always used to say that, didn't you?
yeah. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's why I like her. No, I don't think. I think the interplay between her and Matt Smith was really, really good, and I think it was a lot stronger than, say, the interplay we saw between Clara and
Yeah.
and Matt's doctor.
Yeah.
Although, in actual fact, I prefer Amy than Clara, but I think Jenna Coleman's probably a better actress.
Yeah.
Is that being harsh? I don't think so, because I think Karen Gillan's really good at what she does as well. But I think Jenna's probably
You're
a
being
better
mean
actress.
to both of them.
yeah, they're basically I'm just horrible.
Yeah.
But the
You're trying to be nice, but also critical to both of them.
I think I just think there was something about that fairly flirtatious nature between Matt's doctor and Karen's Amy that worked.
Yeah.
And I'm being really hypocritical here because I sort of started off this item by stating how much I didn't like that doctor companion relationship thing.
Yeah, I know that's what I was thinking.
But for some reason it just seems to work with those two.
Make your mind up.
because it seems to work to me with those two because it's not obvious. It's not like that scene at the end of David Tennant's and Rose's time together where he's just about to say he loves her and then it cuts out and it's sort of like, that's just too obvious to me.
Yeah.
Whereas there's something quite nice about that little bit of a sort of pinch the bottom as she walks past sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think that works.
Moving on.
Mhm.
The most recent companion, at least that we've seen, is Clara, played by Jenna Coleman. Clara Oswald, who's my favourite companion of New Who.
Yeah.
Definitely in my favourite season with Erin was season 8.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna say series 7. I didn't find anything too different between, you know, the personality with Jenna Coleman and Matt Smith. It was still okay, but it wasn't, you know, anything.
It didn't seem natural.
It
It
didn't
didn't seem as sorry. It didn't seem as natural.
It didn't seem like they fitted as much as her and Capaldi. It's like the John Pertwee and Elizabeth Sladen thing. They're
Mhm.
still good together, but she fits more with Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Because you think of Sarah Jane as a Tom Baker companion and not a
Yes.
John Pertwee
We did
companion.
definitely. Yeah.
And Clara in Series A, I find, is really good.
Yeah.
Definitely because her character is really good, and her as an actress, the chemistry and interaction between Clara and the Doctor is brilliant in Series 8. Then in Series 9, I thought she got a bit too cocky.
Mm-hmm.
She was meant to, I know, to fit in with the storyline, but she did get a tiny bit annoying.
Do you think they would have been better off finishing Clara's run at the end of that Christmas one that year? What was the name of the one? The Father Christmas one. What was that called?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you think that would have been better?
Death in Heaven, I thought, would have been the
Yeah.
best exit.
Yeah,
At the end of Death in Heaven, I think it's a really good exit.
true. Yeah, no, that would have been a good exit. But I also thought the Christmas one actually had a really good potential exit.
It did,
for
yeah.
So I think they probably did run with her slightly too long.
I
But
wonder what would have happened if Bill came in a series earlier.
yeah, it would be interesting because the whole sort of feel of that last series was quite dark in the majority of
Yeah,
cases.
imagine
Wasn't
Bill in a really dark environment.
Mm.
Oh, look, it's
It'd be interesting to see how that would work, wouldn't it? Because
we haven't
we
seen
don't
Bill
know
yet.
enough about Bill to really know what sort of character she's going to have, do we?
No, but I'm just guessing she's going to be a Donna-esque.
Do you
Sort of,
find
yeah.
then, and we talked generally about the fact that with New Who companions, and more so, I guess, since Moffat's been in charge, they've had a real key role in terms of the Doctor's life. So whether you're talking about Amy and the Crack,
Yeah.
or you're talking about Clara and the Impossible Girl. And
Yeah. I don't like them being too linked, like superhero powers, like Rose with Bad Wolf, Donna with Dr. Donna, Amy with the girl who waited, and Clara with the Impossible Girl. I don't like that, but I do like it how these companions have been developed and they're included in the storylines a lot more. And they're much stronger than they were in the period of Classic Who.
Yeah, I mean it's noticeable, isn't it? If you look at the old Classic Who's, when they get to the titles, the companions are usually sort of pretty much near the bottom, isn't it? It's sort of like
Yeah, I know.
T-Boy and Errand Runner, and then underneath you might see Elizabeth Sladen or something
Yeah.
like that. But they're quite low down the
They are,
down the
yeah.
credits. Okay. What do you want to see from companions going forward?
Like Bill. I want to see a relatable companion. You know, I think we're going to get that with Bill. You know, I don't want them to be, you know, too, like, you know, I don't want them to have magic powers or, you know, some sort of supernatural power. But I do think they should have some sort of, you know, they should have a big role, like they have done.
Yeah.
But I think a Martha or Donna-esque companion would be what I'd like.
So can I ask you then, it's not something we've done on the other ones, but can I ask you to give me your list of those New Who companions in order from least favourite to favourite?
Okay. Least favourite, I'm going to say Donna. Then I'm going to say Rose.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say Amy. And then I'm going to say Martha and Clara. That's from bottom to top.
Mine's pretty similar, other than probably Clara and Amy, probably the other way around.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Amy would be my favourite, then it would be Martha, then Clara, then Rose, then Donna at the bottom.
Yeah.
In a fiery pit of hell. Fighting it out for survival
That's
with
what
Mel.
happens in Journey's End.
Yeah. So, does that bring us to an end to this particular item?
It does, yeah.
Have you got an idea for next week's item? What did you want to mention at the end of the
I'll
programme?
mention that at the end of the programme.
Okay. So that probably brings us on to the next
chunk then, which is
our review of the ribos operation. So, last week, the magic randomizer button, which we'll go into a bit more later on, picked out for us the ribos operation, which was the first story to feature two things. Romana, in her first incarnation, played by the late Mary Tam, and the Key to Time. So this was the first Key to Time story. Before we go into our opinion of the story, Decool's going to give us a little plot roundup, synopsis sort of roundup. If
I can actually remember it. So in basics of this one is that the Doctor finds himself. I've had quite a bizarre opening actually in many ways. So he sort of the sort of shiny lights coming through the door. walks out, and there's the White Guardian, and the White Guardian basically recruits the Doctor on this mission to locate the various pieces of the powerful key to time. And in doing that, because I mean the Doctor's on the back of losing his previous companion, Leela, who went off on lovey-dovey.
100!
Yeah.
Chris Tranchen.
So the White Guardian, therefore, basically gives the Doctor a new companion, who's a Time Lord called Romana. And how do you pronounce the full name?
Romana de Vortrelander?
Yeah, so I'll leave that to you.
It might be pronounced different.
Or Fred,
Yeah.
as the Doctor decided he's going to call her. The White Guardian warns them that there's a sort of a yin and yang sort of thing going on, really, and that there's this sort of powerful Black Guardian who's also seeking these segments, but he wants to use them for less good purposes. And we don't get to see the Black Guardian at all in this.
But we do
this episode.
in the sixth story, aka the last story of the Kids.
Yeah. And to assist them with this, the Guardian presents them with this, what looks like sort of like a wand, and that device can actually help locate the various pieces, and not only do that, but also remove the disguises that that's protecting them. So they find themselves on the planet of Ribos, and this is a sort of ice-layered planet, which has the feel of medieval Earth, to the extent that they've got no knowledge at all of any form of life existing outside of Ribos. So it's in fact, actually, full stop. They've got no knowledge of aliens or anything. They're very much like Earth would have been in these sort of medieval times. There's a human guy from Earth called Garon, and he's trying to sell on Ribos to this sort of tyrant called, I'm trying to think his name, Graf. How do you pronounce it?
Graf and Decay.
Graf van der Kay. And Graf's sort of quite impressed by the quantity of Jethric on this planet, which is this sort of stone. And basically, there's, I guess it doesn't take too long for the Graf to actually sort of see through the thief that is Garon, and basically sort of imprison him.
Yeah.
The Doctor finds himself embroiled in this sort of escapade, and between him and Garon and the other thief whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, what was the other guy called? Was it Unstoff?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And they sort of they sort of work together, really, don't they? To try and overthrow the Graf. Does that sound like a reasonable
that
synopsis?
That does give that does sound like one.
And the reason I'm struggling a little bit to recount the story is because it's very boring.
That's what I was just about to say. It's so boring. It's one of the most boring Doctor Who stories I've ever watched. Sorry, Robust Operation.
It's odd, isn't it?
But to be truthful, it's rubbish.
But we looked up afterwards, didn't we, on the Doctor Who magazine to see how it was ranked by fellow Who fans, and actually it fares fairly well, doesn't it?
Mm.
But like you, I really struggled with it. I don't know why, but I found it never really captured my imagination. And we both really love classic Who, and we particularly both really love Tom Baker era Doctor Who.
Mm.
But neither of us liked this episode at all.
Mm. And I hardly ever find episodes rubbish or really bad. Fear, Twin Dilemma, Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Paradise Towers. This doesn't come to the same extent, but it's so close to getting that really terrible, you know. It's a Robert Holmes one. I love his stories, and 2 Robert Holmes episodes in a row we've had, which don't seem to be that strong. I mean, Sunmakers I know was very enjoyable for both of us, but we did say that, or at least I said that, it's not one of Robert Holmes or Tom Baker's era's finest.
And this definitely isn't, is it? In fact, I would go as far to say, of all the Tom Baker stories I can remember, and there's a lot that we've not that haven't come up on the randomizer again, so I'm going from memory from when I was growing up. This is probably the weakest one for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know what the hell was going on here. Well, I knew sometimes, but I didn't. It was so boring that I lost track of what was going on, and I couldn't wait for it to end, to be honest.
Was there any redeeming sort of parts to it?
I liked the beginning of this story, actually, where the Doctor and Romana are introduced, because there's a few funny lines between the two of them, and the first 10 minutes I really enjoy, because the two of them really interact.
I really like the bit when Doctor's like being really smug, and then he walks off and you hear the trap going, and he's sort of like caught up in that big net.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But no, it's the opening I really enjoy. I quite like the closing as well. That's quite good.
Oh, part 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the ending sequence. I think is quite good. The last little bit of dialogue between the two thieves and the Doctor and Romana.
Yeah.
I think the intro bit when the companion first comes into it is good, because it's got a different sort of feel to a companion, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And neither of them, well, certainly the Doctor doesn't really want her there.
Because she sort of acts smarter than he is.
Yes. Yeah,
definitely
that's right.
at
Yeah.
the beginning.
No, there's some really funny dialogue in that first part.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first part. I thought those two together were really enjoyable, but then I thought later on in the story they didn't get as much time to interact together, and in parts 2, 3 and 4 they weren't really that.
The interesting thing about it though is that I actually did quite enjoy the second part, which I know you don't. You didn't like that, did you?
I didn't like any of it apart from the first bit and the last bit.
Yeah.
Parts 2, 3 and 4, particularly part 3 particularly is just a terrible episode, and this is a particularly defining point that Doctor Who's quality is going down a lot since what we'd seen from season 12 and 13, going into 14, where we'd seen classics like Genesis of the Daleks and Talons of Weng Chiang and Robots of Death and Hand of Fear and Pyramids of Mars and Brain Morbius and all those classic episodes from those 3 series.
I would love to hear listeners' comments on what they make of the ribos operation, because
they can contact us at @drwho time as in n space or the Mysterio YouTube on any of our videos.
I think it'd be really interesting to find out, because again, going back to that Doctor Who magazine poll in 2014, it does a lot. Where it's ranked in that list does not in any way compare with our own ranking of it. I mean, if you look at just our randomizer list, so as we said before, the randomizers are a spreadsheet which selects random episodes.
We've watched 81.
81 stories, and I know it's number 80 for me.
It's number 79 for me.
With only Fear Her below it.
It's got Nightmare and Silver and Fear Her for me.
So we're obviously out of step here with a lot of people's impressions of this episode, and it'd be really interesting to see why other people like it, and yet we found it left us so cold.
I hated the story. So sorry, guys, but
it's odd, isn't it?
I hated
very
it.
Often that we both dislike a Doctor Who story.
Yeah, I know. I just want to stop talking about it because it was so rubbish. Sorry, but if you have any thoughts, hopefully next week we'll have a good story. We don't like to be critical of Doctor Who.
No.
We've had some really good stories pop up on the randomizer, and we're usually positive. It's just this week we're critical on it.
Yeah. But I really struggled with,
Me
with
too,
this one.
yeah.
And particularly
I
as
thought it was just me, from what I can remember.
particularly as it's the first one for that series, it just seemed like a real weak,
I know.
a really weak opener. But there we have it.
Scores?
Yeah. Okay.
Monsters/villains.
We got this sort of monsters that are in the catacombs, but not that strong. Probably about 5.
Character development.
That's an interesting one, because if you were to look at the first episode and the interplay between the Doctor and Romana, I think that bit of it is quite strong. I'm going to give it a generous 7.
Okay. Excitement.
I nearly fell asleep,
Me too.
so I'm going to say it's 5.
This is going to be a low score. Pace.
Pace. I wish it was a one-parter.
One part 2 minute episode.
To be honest, the pace actually isn't that bad. It's just I just don't think it's particularly strong. But I give it a 6. Again, quite a generous 6.
So that is 23 out of 40.
23 out of 40. So it's low.
Ooh, low. Okay.
And overall, I'll give it a 6. I think overall.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, not good because this episode wasn't. Okay. We don't have time for 3-minute rant, guys. But what we do have time for is the randomizer.
The magic randomizer. So, as we've mentioned at numerous points during the podcast, what the magic randomizer is a Excel spreadsheet with every episode of Doctor Who ever in it. We've got a little macro bit into it that when we press a button, it selects what we're going to watch
Yes, it does.
next week.
It could be any episode of Doctor Who from any point, in its 53-year time.
So, are we ready to press the magic randomizer this week?
Okay.
Here goes. So.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh no.
Sorry, no.
So what do we have next week?
Let me just write.
Is this another Tom Baker one?
No.
Oh, there goes Homer again.
Where is it? There it is. It's not a Tom Baker one. It's a John Pertwee one. It's the only John Pertwee one I don't like.
Okay.
And I've got it in an edition which is part black and white.
Okay.
A bit like the Ambassadors of Death, but from what I can remember, I don't like this story. Okay. Don't know whether I'm on my own. You might like it. I might like it when I watch it again, but from what I can remember, I didn't like it.
Tell people out there, Misery, what is it?
It's sorry, I forgot I hadn't said. It's Mind of Evil.
Okay.
So it's the second one in that series of Master episodes. It's the final one in that series of Master episodes that we haven't watched.
Yeah. Okay.
Series 8.
So that's what we'll be talking about next week. Just have a quick look at the little chart that we've got.
Did you add to it earlier?
I think I did, yeah. So I was just wondering what we've got so far. I can't even remember.
List.
No.
It's in there.
There we go. So
did you add to it?
No, I don't know whether I did actually. We'll ignore that for now.
What
we got is a little chart which shows us what percentage of things that we've watched, which sort of indicates that we've, in total now, we've watched roughly about just over 30% of Who since we started doing the randomiser. And in terms of Tom Baker stories,
we've watched exactly a third.
Yeah, that's it. So a third of the way through them.
Mm.
And we'll be adding to John Pertwee's, which is actually we've watched a fair chunk of John Pertwee's ones.
We have, yeah.
37.5% of the way through John Pertwee's episodes. So that probably pretty much draws us to an end for this week's show, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Sorry we haven't had time to do the 3-minute rant.
Yeah, we'll hopefully show you what that's like next week.
Yeah. What do we have on next week's show then?
It's episode 181, and we are, as our main feature, Stephen Moffat and Peter Capaldi have both indicated that Doctor Who's going to be, a new sort of, it's changed a lot and it's sort of a new start.
Yeah.
We talk about what we think we want to and what we think is going to change
Okay.
in season 10 and onwards.
Okay. We'll also be reviewing The Mind of Evil, and you'll probably hear the sound of Lewis jumping out of the window.
Oh wait, it's a 6-parter, so I think we're reviewing the first 3 parts of that.
Okay, that's a 6-part, is it? Okay.
I believe so.
Right, alright. Okay.
So I think we'll be reviewing the first 3 episodes of Mind of Evil next
So
week.
by the end of having watched the ribos operation and then watching 6 parts of The Mind of Evil, you probably won't be a Who fan by the end of it, will you?
No, you might enjoy this one.
Yeah.
I think you will enjoy this one, but I didn't.
But you might do this time round because you're a bit older.
I
and
might do this time round.
If you remember rightly, you didn't think Ambassadors of Death was very good before
Yeah.
we watched it, and then by the time we'd watched it again, you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So-
We'll see next week, guys. Okay. We've also got the latest news,
We may well have chance for a 3 minutes rant each.
and we don't press the magic randomizer.
We won't. We won't be pressing the randomizer next time because if it's a 6-parter, we struggle to get enough time to watch all 6 parts, so we tend to we tend to split that out over 2 weeks, don't we?
Yeah. If it's a 6 or more, if it's a 5-part episode or less, we watch it in 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today, folks. I'm Lewis Mean.
I'm Decool.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time, same time.
Same space.
Goodbye.